So more than half of the class is joined in. Good afternoon to all. And now we are going to see furthermore in specifically about the diagnostic criteria and treatment and the prognosis of GBS. Yes, Guillain-Barré syndrome. So testing we have already seen. We check for the CSF. We check for the CSF through the lumbar puncture, and in that we will have two important things: albumin levels and protein levels will be increased. Other than that, we also see the WBC count. So if WBC count is also increased, that suggests there is an infection, and that is when you have to see if the infection is directly leading to spinal cord injury and peripheral nerves, or is it after infection immune system of an individual that is leading to GBS. EMG NCV, as we described, the latencies will be prolonged. Yes, the time between the application of the stimulus and onset of the response. The time between stimulus application and onset of the response, that is increased because now conduction velocity will be decreased. Yes, so conduction becomes slowing, and there is a conduction block also. Conduction block means there is no conduction possible. Not a single fiber will be able to conduct. The peripheral nerve, when completely damaged, it will show conduction block. Three important terms. Then we move to criteria. So how do we decide how do a neurophysician decide if this is GBS or not? So there are some diagnostic features. First, features required for diagnosis. Two most important features જે હોવા જ જોઈએ તો જ તમે કહી શકો કે yes, this is GBS. First, progressive motor weakness of more than one limb. Yes, progressive motor weakness. It may be ascending or descending. Descending as we see in Miller-Fisher syndrome. Yes, an AIDP will have ascending type of paralysis. So it should have more than one limb. So it will be bilateral most of the times. Areflexia or marked hyporeflexia. So there will be no reflex elicitation or there will be decreased. Yes, we have seen the grading 0, 1 plus, 2 plus, 3 plus and 4 plus. So if it is 0 or 1 plus, at that time we can say yes, this is Guillain-Barré syndrome. Both these features are compulsory. આ બે હશે તો જ પેશન્ટ ને આપણે GBS છે એમ કહી શકશું. Other features that strongly support the diagnosis. So these are compulsory, these are required. Now these are strongly supportive. So progression over days to a few weeks. So within few weeks there is complete paralysis which has been progressed. Relative symmetry, as we talked about, it will be bilateral, it will be symmetrical. So left side tibialis anterior is affected, right side it will be affected. Yes, and that has to be followed. So relative symmetry is a must. Mild sensory loss, yes, mainly it will be motor, but there also suggests some mild sensory loss can also be there. Specifically proprioception, as we discussed, will be lost. Pain and temperature senses will be altered. Three senses: proprioception, pain and temperature. Onset with extremity pain or discomfort. The pain will be some type. The patient will tell you they are feeling like they have exercised way too much. Yes, so that is an example of extremity pain. Cranial nerve involvement, as we talked about, bulbar involvement is common, and if autonomic nervous system is affected, all the nerves, specifically even the seventh cranial nerve may be affected. Yes, facial nerve, that can also be affected. Onset of recovery within 2 to 4 weeks after halt of the progression. So this is also a diagnostic sign. Yeah, GBS 2 to 4 weeks pachi, within a month there will be recovery. Yes, the progression went on, now the recovery will start. Autonomic dysfunctions, yes, sweating impaired, taste impaired, all these things. Once you see, you check for it. That will also tell you if there is autonomic dysfunction or not. Initial absence of fever, yes. Why there will be absence of fever? Because the infection would have subsided. Then only GBS start. GBS is triggered by an infection, but later on it is condition in which autoimmunity starts acting. Yes, so our own immune system will target the self, and there is no chance of fever. So initial stages there will be absence of fever. Elevated CSF protein within 1 week of symptoms. Yes, after you see the symptoms have onset, you see for the protein level it will be increased, suggesting there was an infection previously. Abnormal electrodiagnosis with slow conduction or prolonged FF. So FF is again a let response of the machine. Don't need to go into detail, but you need to remember abnormal electrodiagnosis with slow conduction. Yes, these are the signs that yes, this is the feature of GBS. This is 100% GBS. Now there are some features which also tell you to think of other conditions. Yes, જો એ present હોય તો તમારે બીજી વસ્તુમાં પણ ધ્યાન દેવું પડે. Say for example, these are the features that cast doubt or rule out the diagnosis of GBS. એટલે કે આમાંથી કાંઈ પણ હશે તો there are chances the patient is not having GBS, the patient is having some other disorder. Yes, so which are these conditions? So marked persistence, asymmetry of weakness. Yes, આપણે શું વાત કરી હતી? It will be bilateral. Patient ne bilaterally affect થશે. Yes, both lower limbs will be affected, both upper limbs will be, same muscles bilaterally will be affected. So that is symmetrical involvement. But if there is asymmetrical involvement, that means it is not GBS. Second, persistent bladder bowel dysfunction. As we saw, only in the autonomic part there is slightly involvement of bladder, but never bowel. Yes, it may be involvement, but there is under let response. But if there is involvement of bladder and bowel function, પહેલેથી જો bladder bowel function distemper થઈ જશે, then you can say this is not GBS, this is some other condition, maybe traumatic spinal cord injury or stroke or any other condition. Yes, so again also bladder and bowel dysfunction at the onset, so that is not a feature of GBS. Yes, you can rule out GBS directly. Mononuclear leukocyte in CSF. Yes, so leukocytes, again infection, related to infection, type of WBC leukocyte. Yes, so here also you can say that it is because of infection that the condition has resulted, not after the infection, because GBS is an autoimmune disease. It has nothing to do with infection. So if you see leukocyte, that means ongoing infection is there, spinal cord or any other tissue is under infection, and because of this there are signs and symptoms. Sharp sensory level, so sharp sensory involvement. Yes, abnormal pain, abnormal sensations, hyperesthesia, anesthesia, all these are abnormal senses where you can suspect this is not GBS. In GBS specifically, proprioception, pain and temperature, these three are affected. They are also in the mild form, as we already described. Features that also rule out the diagnosis: current history of hexacarbon abuse. So hexacarbon abuse is nothing but a substance through which you can say it is an addictive substance that a patient or a person will take, and because of this there will be paralysis. Yes, hexacarbons are neurotoxic type of agents, so they are harmful to the nerves, nervous tissue. So because of that there will be signs and symptoms. Evidence of porphyria. Porphyria is a disorder resulting from buildup of certain chemicals related to red blood cell proteins. Yes, so in RBC, any abnormality, because of the abnormality in RBCs, sufficient amount of circulation is not reaching the nerves, and because these do not receive nutrition and circulation, there will be sign and symptoms. But it is not related to autoimmunity, it is related to circulatory disorder. Yes, related to RBC proteins. History or culture evidence of diphtheria. So diphtheria again is a condition, you can say, of infection of nose and throat specifically, that can lead to systemic involvement later on. So because of diphtheria, ongoing infection, you can see to diagnose diphtheria specifically, you see there is a thick gray matter converges at the back of the throat, making breathing hard. So respiratory involvement will also be there. So because of the respiratory involvement, directly you can say the patient is having secondary impairment in the nerves, not direct impairments. History or evidence of lead intoxication. Again, lead in excessive amount is neurotoxic. Neurotoxic means it damages the nerves. So nerve damage karse, ena lidhe sign and symptom આવે છે. Yes, so because of overuse of any substance, abusing of any substance. Pure sensory syndrome. Yes, no motor syndrome. GBS is purely motor syndrome, in which sometimes sensory involvement is there, but opposite, sensory involvement જ હોય, that means it is not GBS, it is some other condition that we are looking at. Evidence of polio, botulism, toxic neuropathy, organophosphates, stick paralysis, hysteria, all this will lead to sign and symptoms similar, but you will find evidence in the patient's history or patient's medical records that this patient is suffering from such diseases, and because of this, these are the signs and symptoms. Yes. Variants of GBS, as we had already seen. So just looking at the criteria, what will be the criteria to diagnose? So first is Miller-Fisher syndrome. So first we saw the triad. Yes, so acute onset of ophthalmoplegia, ataxia, hyporeflexia or areflexia. Yes, with elevated CSF protein level increased, and subsequent recovery. So later on there will be recovery. So you can say this is Miller-Fisher syndrome, specifically ophthalmoplegia, ataxia and hypo or areflexia. Acute sensory neuropathy, Acute onset of sensory loss, areflexia, elevated CSF protein level, slow nerve conduction velocity with subsequent recovery. All the things we have already described. Polyneuritis cranialis, as the name suggests, polyneuritis, inflammation of many nerves which are cranialis, cranial nerves specifically. So acute onset of multiple cranial nerve palsies, usually bilateral seventh nerve. Seventh nerve is facial nerve. So all the muscles of the face will be affected at the same time. With sparing of first and second cranial nerve, elevated CSF protein level, slow nerve conduction velocity, and subsequent recovery. Yes, so this is a new variant, but it is again rarely seen in 1 to 2% only. Acute pan dysautonomia, that is the same as we described. Acute onset of diffuse autonomic dysfunction with subsequent recovery. Chronic progressive demyelinating neuropathy. Now, first AIDP that we saw was acute inflammatory demyelinating neuropathy. Yes, this is chronic level of the same. Yes, so chronic progressive demyelinating neuropathy. Acute onset of weakness, hyporeflexia, slow nerve conduction velocity, elevated CSF protein level, and progression persisting for more than 6 weeks. Yes, so up to 6 weeks, 1.5 months, if the condition gets reversed, it will be termed AIDP, acute inflammatory or acute progressive demyelinating neuropathy. If it persists more than 6 weeks, 6 weeks થી વધારે જો તમે એકને each symptoms હોય, then it is termed as chronic progressive demyelinating neuropathy. Very rare, but can happen. And the last, chronic relapsing demyelinating neuropathy, as the name suggests. Again, it is chronic, so it will be more than 6 months, 6 weeks. Relapsing, happening again and again. Use the word correctly. Remember this. Relapsing means એકવાર થયું recover થઈ ગયું, recover થયા પછી પાછી condition થઈ. Yes, recurrent થવું, that is relapsing. Demyelinating neuropathy, recurrent motor sensory neuropathy with elevated CSF protein level and slow nerve conduction velocity. Yes, so again and again it happens. Patient recover થઈને પાછી condition થશે, પાછું patient hospitalized પણ થવું પડશે, and again there will be recovery, and it continues. Yes, the duration for which the patient remains symptomatic and asymptomatic changes. Yes, like condition હમણાં થઈ, within 2 or 3 weeks reverse થઈ ગયું. Patient is again normal. Now again there are chances the patient will get condition probably tomorrow, probably after a month, after 6 months, but there are chances the patient might have such relapsing type of neuropathy also. Coming to treatment. Yes, so what is the treatment? We have already discussed two important terms, plasmapheresis and IVIG, immunoglobulin, that is provided intravenously. So first, supportive care is important for the successful management in the person with significant symptom. Of greatest concern is respiratory failure due to paralysis of the diaphragm, the muscle most important for breathing. Diaphragm, if it gets paralyzed, there are no chances the patient will survive if not given ventilation, artificial ventilation, that is ventilators. Intubation may be needed when evidence of impending failure of the muscle of breathing is present. So intubation, that is done through tracheostomy. So part of the trachea is removed open, and through that ventilators are provided. When is this given? When the vital capacity is less than 20 ml per kg, the negative inspiratory force is less than minus 25 centimeter of H2O, and more than 30% decrease in either vital capacity or negative inspiratory force within 24 hours, rapid progression of disorder or autonomic instability. So 4 are the important indication to give intubation. First, vital capacity less than 20 ml per kg. Second, negative inspiratory force less than minus 25 centimeter of H2O. Third, rapid progression of the disorder. And fourth, autonomic instability. Yes, if autonomic nervous system is involved, if vital capacity of the patient is less than 20 ml per kg, if negative inspiratory force means the amount of force generated in the lungs that you can say facilitates the inhalation. Yes, so whenever you want to inhale, what does it happen? Diaphragm becomes flat, the area of the lungs increases, and because of this the negative pressure is developed in the lungs. This negative pressure is negative in compared to the outside air, hence outside air comes into the lungs. This is the normal mechanism. So if this negative inspiratory force generated by the lungs is less than minus 25 centimeter of H2O, then it is indicated to provide artificial ventilation. 4 important indications. Yes. Plasmapheresis started within 2 weeks at the onset of the symptoms. Filtering antibodies out of the bloodstream. Heston's recovery when used within 4 weeks of the onset of the symptom. If used for longer than 5 days, hepatitis or in rare cases renal failure can happen. And second, intravenous immunoglobulin neutralize harmful antibodies in inflammatory causing diseases. So what is the problem? Because of the infection, there have been formed antibodies. જે macrophages form થયા, antibodies form થશે. એ તમને self will start destructing the myelin sheath and the Schwann cells. To prevent this, what do we do? Plasma બહાર લીધું, blood આખું બહાર લીધું, એમાંથી plasma અલગ કરીને એમાંથી antibodies આપણે કાઢી નાખી. Yes, that is plasmapheresis. Simple terms. Yes. So it is started within 2 weeks. Filter out antibodies from the bloodstream. Simple thing. Heston recovery when used within 4 weeks of the onset of the symptoms. So if used within the 4 weeks of onset of the symptoms, it has faster recovery. But there is a negative thing. If you use this more than 5 days, there are chances to get inflammation in the liver or there can be renal failure, kidney failure. Yes, both are possible if used subsequently for longer duration. Intravenous immunoglobulin. This neutralizes the harmful antibodies and inflammation causing diseases. Yes, so directly the infection has a inflammation kartu has and antibodies ત્રણેયને એકસાથે IVIG will kill them. Yes, so we can definitely say without any side effect, IVIG is a much better option for such patient. But this treatment is very costly, very costly. You can say IVIG is required depending on the weight of an individual. Yes, so per kg, as we described, ml per kg, yes, will be required for better treatment, better outcome. And per ml, it is costing around 20 to 30,000. So just imagine the number that will come up for a patient who is 60 kgs, yes, into 2,000. So it will be going into lakhs. But it is like a pure amrut, yes, for the patient of GBS. If you give such patient of any neurological patient with such acute onset, even for stroke patient, if they can take this, if they can afford it, IVIG is the best treatment they can get. Yes, and it will have outstanding results for sure. Only drawback, it is costly, very costly. Other drugs, supportive drugs that can be used, say for example, corticosteroid, analgesics and immunosuppressants. So corticosteroid, prednisolone, methylprednisolone, analgesics, ibuprofen, naproxen, diclofenac can be used. Immunosuppressants like mycophenolate, they can be used to suppress the immunity, to relieve the pain, and corticosteroid overall decrease the inflammation. Those are the 3 indications of the drugs. Coming to the last part, that is the prognosis. So once you have administered, once there is onset, patient has been hospitalized. When hospitalized, at that time you decide if the patient is going to have a good prognosis or not so good prognosis. So recovery usually starts after the 4th week from the onset of the disorder. So yes, from the first day when the onset started, from that 1 month around, if the condition gets reversed. About 80% of the patients have a complete recovery within a few months. Yes, so 2 to 3 months. Next 2 to 3 months, they will be completely recovered. They have a complete recovery within few months to a year, although minor findings may persist such as areflexia. Yes, so sometimes it is possible the nerve cannot regenerate completely if axons are damaged, as we talked about. Axon ekવાર damage થઈ ગયા, but it is very difficult to regain that. Yes, so for that reason, areflexia may persist. For about 5 to 10% with severe disability, with most of such cases involving severe proximal motor and sensory axonal damage with inability to axonal regeneration. Yes, so the thing, acute motor sensory, specifically type of polyneuropathy, they will have axonal damage. Why? They will lead to exoplasm, damage to exoplasm of the nerve. And because of this, it is an irreversible damage. એકવાર થઈ ગયું પછી reverse ના થઈ શકે. So because of that, there might be severe sensory and motor axonal damage leading to inability to axonal regeneration. Axons cannot regenerate. Despite all improvement in the treatment and supportive care, the death rate is still about 2 to 3% only, even in the best intensive care unit. Yes, so all the improvement in the treatment and everything, that still leads to 2 to 3% death. Yes, even if the patient is given ventilatory support at that time also, because of other complications, the patient may die off. Yes, 2 to 3% patients die completely within the first phase, first month, because it is progressing. Worldwide, the death rate runs slightly higher, 4%, mostly from a lack of availability of life support equipment during the lengthy plateau lasting 4 to 6 weeks, and in some cases up to 1 year when a ventilator is needed in the worst cases. Yes, so medical, you can say, facilities also favor this death rate. So if you are living in a village where ventilator is never seen or never heard of, and at that time the patient is getting such a disease, GBS, and respiratory involvement is there, there is no ventilator available. So at that time, chances are the patient will die. Yes, because there is no ventilator available which can allow him to survive. About 5 to 10% of the patient have one or more late relapses, in which case they are classified as having chronic inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. Yes, as we talked about, more than 6 weeks or relapsing time. So that will be chronic. In research studies, the outcome from an episode of GBS is recorded on a scale from 0 to 6. Yes, so outcome is dependent on these things. 0 is denote completely healthy. Yes, we check this after the patient has completely recovered or has some residual signs after months. Say for example 5 to 6 months from the onset till 4 weeks, that is 8 months સુધી તો એને symptoms આવશે. Yes, then there will be stage of recovery from second month to say 6 months. After that you check what the patient's condition is, and according to that you grade him. Yes, so grade 0 did not complete healthy, grade 1 very minor symptoms but able to run, grade 2 able to walk but not able to run, grade 3 require a stick or other support, grade 4 confined to bed or a chair completely, grade 5 require long-term respiratory support completely on ventilator, grade 6 the patient has died. Yes, so 7 grades you need to remember how you classify the patient for prognosis. 0 completely healthy but tuj kari sakse. Grade 1 we will be able to run but with minor symptoms may be present, maybe sensory loss, maybe some amount of motor loss also will be there, but the patient is able to run. Yes, second able to walk but not able to run. Yes, ચાલી શકે છે પણ દોડી નહીં શકે patient. So why is that? Because coordination will not be there. So he can walk to a degree but cannot run because there are chances he might fall. Also grade 3 requiring a stick or other support, so requiring any other walking aid for ambulation, that is termed for grade 3. Grade 4 confined to a bed or a chair, so confined to a bed, cannot move much, or confined to a wheelchair because they are not able to even walk with a walking aid. Grade 5 requiring long-term respiratory support. Yes, so requires supplemental oxygen or ventilation from months together, 5 or 6 months regularly they have taken, so that is grade 5, and if the patient is died, that is grade 6. The prognosis of GBS is determined mainly by age. Those who are over 40 may have a poorer outcome. So more the age, as we saw, less than 35, that is easier to resolve. More than 40 or more than 70, as the age increases, there are less chances the patient will have full recovery. Thereby severity of the symptoms after 2 weeks. Furthermore, those who have experienced diarrhea in the prodrome have a worse prognosis. So diarrhea is such a complication of gastrointestinal tract which can predict it. Yes, okay, prognosis સારું હશે કે નહીં. If the patient has prodromal means initial phase. So initial phase માં જેમને diarrhea હોય, that means the outcome will not be good. Outcome will be poor. Prognosis will be very poor. On the nerve conduction study, presence of conduction block predicts poorer outcome at 6 months. So after 6 months, you take nerve conduction studies. In that, you see conduction block. The nerves are not conducting. You are not able to get signals. Yes, so that is a poor prognostic sign. In those who have received intravenous immunoglobulin, a small increase in IgG in the blood 2 weeks after administration with associated with poor mobility outcomes at 6 months, more than whose IgG level increased substantially. Okay. This is important. IgG, say for example, a patient is given IVIG. Yes, they can afford it, they are taking it. એકવાર એમણે લઈ લીધું પછી increase, small increase in IG after 2 weeks. That has poor prognosis. So immediately જો તમારું વધી જાય IVIG, that means the blood has enough amount of IVIG to fight against those macrophages, leukocytes and other cells. That is much more better for prognosis compared to later it increases. બરાબર, એટલે subsequently ત્યારે ને ત્યારે જો increase થઈ જાય, that has a better outcome compared to later increase in the IVIG production or IVIG storation in the serum, that is blood plasma. Okay, here we complete with GBS. Yes, so these are the references: Neurology, Neurosurgery Illustrated, that is Lindsay, Kesh Textbook of Neurology, Mishra Kalita, that is specifically, you're not supposed to refer this book, this is specifically for EMG NCV, and some portion is also, the reference is also taken from Wikipedia. Yes. I hope no one will have Lindsay, so I'll forward the same in the group today itself. Kesh Textbook of Neurology is also good, but its soft copy I don't think is available. So I'll search, if I find it, I'll forward it to you. Otherwise, you can even purchase the book. It is very handy, very useful even for physiotherapists in future. You are going to use this book for consecutive semesters, 6th and 7th semester, and even when you are practicing. So it is a book highly recommended to buy if you wish to be as part of a neurological clinical setup somewhere. Okay, fine. Any questions from your side? Any doubts? Yes or no, everyone in the chat, please. GBS is a comparatively easy condition to diagnose, comparatively easy to treat. You are going to learn how to manage patients of GBS in PT Neuro in this upcoming semesters. But for a neurologist, it is very easy. You just have to see the symmetry. You just have to see progressive motor weakness, and you have to maintain the record of when the patient is recovering. That is it. From that, directly you can find if the patient is having GBS or some other type of polyneuropathy. Other types of polyneuropathy are also present, specifically talking about diabetes. Yes, so diabetic polyneuropathy. Because of diabetes, there is polyneuropathy, that is involvement of other nerves, common seen in lower limbs again. But it is complete opposite of GBS. GBS ma motor symptoms વધારે હોય compared to sensory. Diabetics ma most of the time will be sensory involvement compared to motor. Yes, and they will not have paresthesia or anything. They will have hypoesthesia and anesthesia, that is decrease or complete loss of uh, sensations. All sensations will be lost, so they have to take very much care. That is why excessive amount of blood glucose will damage, the nutrients are not reaching the subsequent tissues, that is the nervous tissue, and that is why it is much more common in diabetes. Okay, sir, why this GBS is more common in male? No, as such reason. It is not even genetic. It is generally found as such. Yes, even in stroke. Stroke is common in male up to the age of 40 years. It is common in female after the age of 60 years. Yes. So these are general considerations, general observations that we have observed as a human being. Yes. It is found through research. There is no evidence like this is the reason. It is all based on nature, nature's law of selectivity. Yes. So according to that, the same thing now, it also depends on your immunity. If your immunity is good, at that time you will not get infection. If you are not getting infection, that is one of the risk factors. Yes, if you are not getting the infection, there are no chances of getting GBS. So it is again selection, depends on person to person, individual to individual, what we say tasir. Yes, so that is something that nature decides. We are no one to decide, or we cannot find the reason for that. In all the conditions of neurology, this will be the common thing, not just even for neurology, even cardiac system, cardiorespiratory system, even for some orthopedic condition. It is decided females versus males, that females are more affected or males are more affected, and that is the reason that we have to accept something that nature decides, we do not decide. Yeah. Okay, any other doubts? See, if you ask questions, I'll be happy that you are attentive, that you didn't get something, you want me to repeat something, that is also fine, completely okay. But if you don't speak anything, either of the two possibilities, either you know everything or either you don't know anything. Yes, so first, if it is first problem, first thing, that it is fantastic, you know everything, good. But if you don't know anything and an exam, specifically moving on to 6th semester and having practical exam, and at that time you are not speaking in PT Neuro, it will be a very bad scene for you. Yes, so do understand. If you are not getting it, ask me. This is not exam going on right now, this is general lecture. Yes, so you can ask whatever doubts you have regarding neurology, to be confined here. Okay, I guess no further doubts. Okay, sir, in what time GBS affects the body? In what time? What time? There is no specific time. As in, we talked about weather conditions influence GBS. We talked about male, females. Males are more affected 1.5 times compared to females. But what time GBS affects? So the onset is acute, as the name suggests, AIDP. Yes, acute inflammatory demyelinating polyneuropathy. So it is acute. Acute means that can happen from days to weeks. એક મંથમાં ગમે તે એટલે within few hours also the patient may have symptoms. Patient ને symptoms આવવા માંડે. Yes, and he might need respiratory support on the very next day also. That is possible. In some patients, the progression is as such, they require no ventilatory support, but their motor symptoms keep on increasing for up to 4 weeks. Yes, so that is possible. Total duration of affection. In general, if you see, it is not common, but in general, if you see, up to 4 weeks, that is 1 month, the patient will have worst condition. Yes, progression, deterioration thatu jase. Patient na symptoms vadta જ જશે. But later on, there will be chances and there will be recovery. Yes, when the immune system starts understanding the self and differentiates it from the foreign bodies. Total duration, as we already also talked about, it is more about some patients, 80%, as we saw in the prognosis, will have complete recovery. 5 to 10% will have disability, and the rest may even die off. Yes, so that is what we already discussed. Yes, fine. So we have completed the condition. From the next lecture, we are going to start something new. Yes, so maybe Parkinson's or even multiple sclerosis. We'll see which is more easier. We'll take 2 or 3 small topics and then cover a big topic again. Yes, because 2 important large topics we had covered, assessment and stroke. So that were big. So now we'll take 2 small or 3 small topics, maybe multiple sclerosis and ALS, amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. And later on, we move to Parkinson's. Yes, so we'll decide and move forward in the next lecture. Okay. Purva, have you taken the attendance?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. So we'll keep it till here. Hope you have a good day. Be safe.
Thank you, sir.